Let's not waste any more time and dive into Devil May Cry HD Collection.
Let's rock, baby.
But hey, even though the story doesn't really have that much happening in between, they really make up for it in the action scenes. The cutscene animation and choreography for a game that came out in 2001 is actually really good, and also shows how cool but batshit insane this world is. I mean, the first scene in the entire series has a woman fall from the sky, bust into Dante's waist with a motorcycle. She then grabs his sword and stabs him with it and electrocutes him, and when she realizes that's not enough, she throws her entire motorcycle at him, then Dante just shoots it away. And then after all that, she was like, oh wait, we're actually teammates even though I just tried to kill you. Then barely 2 levels into the game, a sword randomly just gets up by itself and stabs Dante through the chest. But because of his demon side, he just ascends and just grabs his sword and just starts handling it like nothing ever happened. Then later in the game, when we beat the Griffith boss fight, it tries to get back up only to get slammed by a piece of a structure. So the story is pretty entertaining, but not just because of the action scenes, but also because of the characters too. Dante is a pretty cool character. He's a typical confident, snarky asshole that still has a good heart at the end of the day. He has a cool design, and the game does a pretty good job on showcasing his fighting skills, his banter with the monsters and Trish, and also his soft side too. Early in the game, Dante fights this demon named Nelangelo, who has the exact same fighting style as Dante. But later in the game, we found out that Nelangelo is actually Dante's twin brother, Virgil, and he's able to confirm it when he drops the same amulet that their mother gave to them both when they were babies, and he starts to mourn him. Well, at least I think he is. Yeah, the models for a PS2 game look pretty good until you look at them up close, and they're not too bad, but Trish especially has that blow-up doll look, even when she's supposed to look emotional. The voice acting is also pretty hokey too. I mean, it makes sense because this game did come out during a time where Capcom is still kind of getting used to having full cutscenes with full voice acting.
Where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
But Chris is...
What is it?
Maybe it's Chris.
But I just can't help but giggle at some of these lines though.
What a big surprise. I hope for your sake you got something inside that big body of yours.
You beat him. Maybe it was too easy for you.
Mundus. His heinous ways make me sick, killing even his own, like they were nothing.
Whoa, slow down, babe.
Well, well, what do we have here? Nature calls? It's in the back.
How much longer are you going to keep zapping? Come out and show yourself, Mundus!
Dante!
Don't come any closer, you devil! You may look like my mother, but you're nowhere close to her. You have no soul. You have the face, but you'll never have her fire!
My mother risked her life for me. And now you, too. I should have saved you.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!
I burst out laughing when I first saw that cutscene. Sometimes there's these cutscenes where they introduce the enemies, and they can just deck you immediately right after the cutscene ends. Like, that's not fucking fair, I wasn't prepared! If you're near a wall, you can jump off it for some more height, but his jump is only good for vertical movement. For horizontal movement, it sucks because when at a standstill, you're locked until you land. It's so bad that when Dante reaches a longer than normal gap, the game just automatically makes a jump for him, which is good, but why not just put that effort into tweaking the jumps and be better at platforming? What's even more confusing is that there's an upgrade for Alistair that gives you the double jump, but for some reason Alistair is the only weapon that has that, so you have to switch to the right weapon every time you want to do a double jump. Oh hey guys, post-editing issues, so I remember that you can actually switch between Alistair and Ifrit with the right analog stick, so yeah, I just thought I should bring that up for any like confusion for anyone watching this video, but just to be clear, that doesn't really fix any of my problems I have with the jump and everything, so anyway. But that gives me a good opportunity to talk about Dante in this game because this guy has the personality of a boulder. He's not cracking jokes, he barely has any dialogue in this game, and now he just flips the coin to decide whether he's gonna help out Lucia and Matier out, like he's Two-Faced or something. Later we found out that the coin is double-sided, which I think is also implied that Dante was gonna do the right thing no matter what, but Dante's so low energy and straight up robotic in this game.
Well, what have we here?
Do you have to ask?
Sure took him a while to find this place. Oh, you have arrived, son of Sparta.
You knew him? Did you find what you were looking for?
Yes. Now we can stop Arius's ambition.
Whatever.
It seems you have obtained the final arcana.
It's from your daughter. What are you doing, Granny? That's just a piece of crap.
Oh, Arcana.
Son of Sparta, you must repent your sins.
Don't speak. Just die.
The one thing I will say about this version of Dante is that he probably has one of the best designs in the series. I love the longer jacket and I like how his hair is more neater and kept together. And he does at least get one good line in.
My dream! My life! I was going to be the king of this world!
King? Yeah. Here's your crown.
Then we got Argus, and this dude is about as interesting as cardboard. He wants to grab all the items he needs to release Argusak, and yeah, that's what it's called, Argusak, and take over the world. It's kind of like Munus, except you could actually feel the presence of him throughout the story of the last game, like killing his subordinates. Argus is just there. He appears once in the beginning and then comes back and at the end. And he also just does this for no reason. Like, was the voice actor getting possessed when recording that? What was that for? But then I get to Mission 5, which is one of the most infamous parts of the game. It first starts off with these two wolves that just jump around all over the place, and the only way to deal with them is just to shoot at them. Like, that's a little bit annoying, but not terrible. But then I get to the city where I fight these infested tanks, and I'm starting to notice that these guys are taking a while to go down. And the only thing that I can do here is just get up close to them, just keep spamming the action button. Then I got to the infested chopper boss fight, and it was at this moment where I made the shocking realization. Holy shit, this is one of the most brain-dead games I've ever played in my entire life. Honestly, I don't know why it took me that long to come to that conclusion, because the game's issue was made apparent from minute one. I guess Capcom were hearing people complain about the first game being too hard and trying to make it a little bit easier so people can get into it better, but I don't know, I feel like they kind of went a little bit too far in that direction. Guns especially, because they got completely buffed in this game. It's so easy for you to juggle enemies in this game. Even the big guys can be stun locked if you just shoot at them long enough. And I gotta tell you, this gets old fast. Like, you're just shooting at them until they just decided they had enough, but hey, if it works, right? Some of these guys have really big health bars too, so that's another problem. You'll probably go through this entire game just by using your guns because they don't fail. Sure, you won't get S-rings as consistently if you're just using your guns, but let's be real here, who gives a shit about getting S-ring combos in DMC2? As long as you keep pressing the square button, you'll be fine. The enemies in this game also just don't feel finished because half of the time they just stand there. They might throw a punch, but that's it. The same thing applies to the boss fights too. Just look at this guy just being completely helpless while I just destroy his health bar. Like, I don't feel bad for killing them because they're not doing anything to hurt me, they're just doing their little dance in the corner. Mission 14 is the worst of that. You have to hit these auras that are placed all over the area, and it takes so long trying to find them because the map doesn't show anything. This is my second time playing through this game, and it still took me almost 30 minutes to beat this mission. There's also auras to hit in mid-air, and so you don't really have air combos in this game. Yeah, shit sucks. The Infested Chopper, probably the most hated boss fight in DMC. Matter of fact, Mission 5 might be the most hated mission in the entire franchise. It's bad enough that you deal with the hopping wolves, the tanks that take forever to kill, and the game once again not telling you where to go. But to make things worse, you have to fight the Infested Chopper, and since it spends most of the time in the air and you have no air combos, this is probably one of the worst boss fights I've ever played in a video game. Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, I've been talking about Dante this whole video, but this game is separated into 2 discs for a reason. Well, 2 reasons, because Capcom probably wanted to make the game seem larger than it really is, but I'll stop being petty now. Bluesky's campaign is not that much different from Dante, except for the fact that it's 5 missions shorter and it's about a half an hour shorter too. You really just go through Dante's levels, but in reverse, except for the rare time that you're playing underwater and they're somehow worse than the first game. It's not in the first person view anymore, but you can't really defend yourself unless you have a weapon, and even then you're locked in place when you use it. And then there's that fish boss fight where you have to deal with damage to it while it's visible, and it's invisible for half of the fight, so it's pretty much the equivalent of trying to shoot a ghost with a rifle. Like, this game fries me, man. But once you beat hard mode, you unlock Dante Must Die mode, and you also unlock Trish too. Trish is pretty much Dante from DMC 1, same combos, his fingers back to normal, hand-to-hand combat, and attack cancels too. At first I thought that this was pretty cool because Trish wasn't playable in the first game, and I actually get to enjoy the combat, but at the same time, you fucking idiots, you should have had Dante and Lucia control like this from the beginning. You lost the best character behind beating the game 3 times. Alright, so the Dante's Awakening subtitle has a little bit of meaning to it. This is a prequel story set before the events of the first game. Dante's about 18 or 19 here, doesn't have a name for his business, doesn't know how to put on a shirt, and it can't even eat peace and peace without demons crashing into his place. Right before Dante fights Virgil for the first time, he meets this clown named Jester who keeps on dropping very cryptic hints for Dante to figure out.
My name is Jester, and I know a thing or two about this place. That thing there is a power generator for this entire sector. In order to open the door, you'll need to apply a little something to it first. Do you know what that is, kid? Or is that too difficult for you?
Get to the point. Or do you want to keep on dancing?
After being defeated by Dante and Virgil, Arkham falls to the tower where a lady can find him and give him the finishing blow, shooting him more times than she needed to.
Mary died a long time ago. My name is Lady. Goodbye, Father.
No!
But she feels empty now that she accomplished her goal. In other words, Lady's now drowning in indescribable emptiness. Dante's back to his normal self in this game. No more of that boring, low energy piece of cardboard he was in the last game. And to be honest, this might be my favorite iteration of Dante. Since this is a more younger and inexperienced version of him, he's cocky and egotistical to a point, but they also humble him from time to time. Like when he's running down the tower chasing after Virgil, shooting all these bats, not missing a step, and then he just gets eaten by a giant whale after all that. Or when he tried to put on his music just for his boombox not to work, or him meeting Lady for the first time.
Well, this is my kind of rain. No wonder the sky looks so funny today.
Let me go!
Let you go? But it would be a waste if you ended up as just a pretty stain. Here I am trying to help you, and you show your thanks by shooting me? Whatever. Do as you please.
So he's a demon too.
You sure know how to throw a party. No food, no drinks, and the only babe just left.
My sincerest apology, brother. I was so eager to see you, I couldn't concentrate on preparations for the bash.
Whatever. At any rate, it's been a whole year since we last met. How about a kiss from your little brother? Or better yet, how about a kiss from this? So, this is what they call a heartwarming family reunion, eh?
You got that right.
Arkham is probably the only character I could have done without. He's kind of just a generic villain who wants power. He's revealed to be Jester that bugs Dante in the early parts of the story, and I kind of wish that kind of ties into his personality. Like he developed like split personality disorder, like he couldn't deal with the fact that he killed his wife, but nope. But on that note...
Don't be a bad girl, Mary. Or you can expect a spanking from Daddy later.
But even then, by the third mission, you'll be scooted by demons, trampled, slice and dice, and any other words you can think of. And that's all on normal mode. If you die enough times, you unlock easy mode, which is pretty hilarious, because like the game is just haunting you saying, hey man, you having trouble? I mean, like, you could try easy mode if you're so bad at the game. Like, I won't judge you out loud. From what I heard, easy mode doesn't really ease you into the game and show you how the game works without getting your head torn off. Instead, it just kind of dumbs down everything for a smoother experience. Like, we're not talking about Devil May Cry 2 levels of brain dead, but it doesn't really offer that much a challenge. So if you can deal with it, maybe beating the game on normal mode for your first time isn't too bad. You can also buy items like the Double Trigger Stars or the Green Health Item Stars, but you can also buy blue and purple oils for your health and Double Trigger meter, but they get more expensive the more you purchase them, so maybe don't rely on the store too much to upgrade everything. The one thing I don't like about the store is that you need to unlock the air raid for every single weapon for some dumbass reason. Like, I didn't like that shit in the first game, but it's even worse here when you have to buy it like 5 times. Especially since the last game gave you the double jump by default. Huh, Devil May Cry 2 actually did something better than this game. But it doesn't get worse than the Devon boss fight. This boss was the main reason why I wasn't able to beat this game 2 years ago. But to be fair, if I didn't get stuck on this fight, I probably would have been stuck on the final Virgil fight. But this just isn't a well-designed boss in my opinion. To start, you have to chip away at her bat shield, so you have to play a waiting game of just shooting at her. So the first 3/4 of the fight, you're just playing this game like DMC2, and that's how this shit's the reason why this game was made in the first place, so we wouldn't have to deal with the slow and boring gunplay anymore. If you dodge all of her attacks in the first 2 phases, in the last phase, she can just do this attack where she kisses you and drains away your health, and the only way to get out of it is to use double trigger, and if you don't, you're fucked. You have to fight her all over again. I have no issue saying this is the lowest point of the game for me. No amount of fan service will make me forgive her for preventing me from beating this game for so long. Devil May Cry 3 has a very steep learning curve, but if you can deal with that, you'll get one of the best action games that you'll ever play.
Looks like we're gonna be busy for a while.
Well, bring it on. I love this. This is what I live for! I'm absolutely crazy about it!
But they also brought back Bingo Morihashi from Devil May Cry 2, but apparently he would eventually leave Capcom after this game. But not before Itsuno dragged him back into the office. Apparently the development of Devil May Cry 4 was actually really cramped. This was the same guy who was coughing up blood when working on DMC2, so yeah, that's not really an unreasonable thing for him to do. I kinda thought that the Order was fine as a villain group. Like, I thought the whole corrupt religious group worked well with the series as a whole. Not all humans are good and not all devils are bad motif, but besides Kratos, I don't think they really stand that well on their own. Samus is a pretty generic villain. Agnes isn't really that interesting, except for the fact that he's a scientist, he stutters a lot, and his daughter becomes the main character in DMC5, which means I have to live with the knowledge that this guy fucked someone. Speaking of Nero, he's pretty cool. He's basically just a more emotional version of Dante. He has Dante's snarky personality, smart mouth, but he also knows when to end things and when he needs to.
Hey, kid! You giving up so soon?
My options are limited.
So melodramatic. Besides, if you die without giving my sword back, I'm gonna be pissed.
Then come and get it.
What a punk.
It's a good introduction to his character, but for someone who was meant to take over the series after Dante, we know next to nothing about him, which is weird because the series is usually pretty good at that. Like when we first meet Dante, Virgil, Lady, and Trish, we know everything about them, but for Nero, he's another white-haired demon slayer that's a descendant from Sparta, and also loves his girlfriend.
Oh, I love my wife! I love my wife! Ah! Let's go ride a bike with my wife! Ah!
But after him is Dante. Even if his design in this game is my least favorite in the entire series, and that's including the reboot, his hair looks like a mop in his head, I don't like the cowboy outfit, they have him biker gloves. His jawline's also like really defined in this game for some reason, almost chiseled.
Go to sleep.
They also managed to streamline how the skill shop works. Before, you just use the ores you got during missions to buy items. Now you get these new Proud Souls after completing missions. Use your red ores for regular items, and use your Proud Souls to upgrade your weapons or basic movement. You also don't have to buy the air hike like 70 times, so that's a bonus. I would rather it be a natural part of Dante's moveset, but at least that's an improvement over 3. It still doesn't change the fact that your jump for the 4th time in a row is complete garbage. Like, look, I know I'm like beating a dead horse with this, but to be fair, there isn't a lot of platforming in this game, but the game came out in 2008. Like, decent platforming control should be the norm at this point. And again, I know Devil May Cry is about all the action, but at that point, just get rid of the platforming if you're not going to fix the jump. So far, it seems like I enjoyed Devil May Cry 4 just as much as I like Devil May Cry 3, so how come I never finished the game last year? Only if you keep on watching the fucking video and let me explain why, you'll get the answer. Then there's these dice puzzles where you have to hit the dice and you either land on a blue space for red orbs, or a red space where you have to fight a bunch of demons. To be fair, there are some ways for you to manipulate the puzzle that you can find online, but I don't want to do this in the first place because it's fucking boring. There's no type of strat that will make me like it. Then when control switches back to Dante, you start noticing that he's just playing through the same levels as Nero, but backwards. And you're also fighting the same bosses and solving the same puzzles that you solved as Nero, and it all just hits you here.
It's the same old fucking shit!
Yeah, you're basically just playing the entire game all over again in the same campaign, and this is the reason why I dropped the game back then. I must have only played 2 missions with Dante, and the thought of playing the entire game all over again mentally drained me so much I just put the game down and never bothered to finish it. And after I finished this game's story mode for this video, I don't think I missed out that much. I mean shit, near the end of the game, you have to do the stupid ass dice puzzle for the boss rush. So you have to fight every boss as Nero, then again as Dante, and then a 3rd time as Nero again. Like, that's a whole new level of rehashing content. Bale's an ice frog that has lesbian angels that he uses to lure in his prey.
Baby, yeah! Alright. Nice. Sweet.
You get
That smell? Ooh, there's no covering up.
I get the feeling this video is going to put me on a hit list for a lot of Devil May Cry fans out there. It also didn't really help matters that the guy who was leading the whole thing, Tamim Entianatis, was just kind of rage-baiting fans the whole time. The only people who were most likely to buy the game in the first place. Ninja Theory wasn't really a huge developer at the time, and I can see general audiences overlooking this game. Since Capcom wanted to appeal to a younger American audience, he didn't think that the original Dante was cool if this game were to sell in the West. At a panel on GDC 2013, he made a slideshow of what Dante is and is not. He was doing shit like openly disrespecting the older games, calling Dante a gay cowboy along with some other tasteful comments. He also used Batman and Robin as an example of what Dante is not. That movie was directed by Joel Schumacher, someone who actually was gay. Just a cornucopia of green flags, right? Also, this version is only console exclusive. The Steam version is based off the original version of the game, so that's something to consider if you're thinking about picking up this game on PC. Have fun looking at that version with the fedora. About a week after this game came out, a DLC called Virgil's Downfall was released, and it's about Virgil losing his sanity and convincing himself that he needs more power and that Dante and Cat betrayed him. He then fights his hollow side and then joins with them to gain more power. He even gets his little outfit back from the original continuity, but I don't know, it just kind of looks like someone's cosplaying as Virgil. He looks like the Joker if you went to the Avatar state. Now, I can understand why some people think the story sucks. Like, to start with the negative, the social commentary is not subtle at all. Like, it's so in your face about the themes of consumerism, propaganda through media, and information consumptions, and I just ended up tuning it out. Like, the scene where Dante asks Virgil what the Order does, and he's all like, oh, we use intelligence, politics, propaganda to fight back, and I'm just thinking like, yeah, you cannot get more on the nose than that. But at the same time, I don't know if it's just how my brain works, but I just kind of thought some of these jokes were kind of funny. Like, maybe it's the way that the voice actors deliver these lines, or I'm just really immature, but some of these lines just have me bursting out laughing.
Whoa, she'll be there tonight. You're not coming in. You're not on the list.
And now.
I will control the world through debt. I have absolute power.
The world is at last your bitch. What's the matter?
Get your filthy fucking claw off my trailer. Hey, Bob. Put a spin on this. So you must be the secret ingredient. I'm your prom date, you ugly sack of shit.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm taking you off the air.
You think so? I wouldn't bet on it, you little shit.
We made it. We make quite the team.
I'm stronger.
I'm smarter.
I'm better looking.
And I got a bigger dick.
You want to kill me? You can't kill me. I'm 1,200 years old.
You don't look a day over 12,000.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Who invited you, fat ass?
Like, I don't know why, but the way he said it just made me laugh so hard. Like, the news anchor Bob Barbas, he's always doing things to make sure that Dante's public enemy #1.
He goes by the name of Dante. Remember his face, people. If you see him, inform the police immediately, but do not approach him. He has a history of physical violence and is a known sexual deviant.
All the over-the-top action is gone, like at least in the cutscenes, because they save most of the action in the cinematic gameplay. The craziest to guess is when Dante gets the last hit on Mundus, or at the beginning when he's flying through his trailer, and you know, that's pretty cool. But at the same time, you gotta ignore the fact that he's butt-ass naked and the camera's doing all types of Olympic level of gymnastics, trying not to show his dick and balls. Like, I'm trying to explain why I think this is a good game, and this type of shit doesn't really help my case. Outside of his usual rebellion, Dante has these new demon and angel powers. For demon powers, he has this big axe that's slow and has a lot of wind-up, but does a lot of damage and staggers the enemies that have shields. He also has these gauntlets which let you do what you've been able to do with gauntlets in all the other games. And Dante also sounds like he's taking a shit when he's doing the ground pound move. The character models are also well made too. The texture work looks good, and it's really detailed too. Character animations are kind of hit or miss though. The scene where Dante presses Virgil while getting Cat back, he looks like he's trying so hard not to laugh in his face. And then the scene where Virgil reveals his plan, like he looks really calm while he's yelling.
I can't let you do this, Virgil. And I can't let you stop me, brother. Stand aside. Don't do this.
Virgil, please.
Stay out of this!
Other than that, it's a really good looking game. Now this game actually went out of his way to add a history of DMC just to make sure that newcomers weren't completely lost in the timeline. I bring this up because DMC 2 really got a sentence explaining its place in the lore. It's almost like even Capcom barely acknowledged this game's existence. Anyway, taking place about 5 or 6 years after Devil May Cry 4, Nero took over the Devil May Cry business with his new partner, Nico, who's the daughter of Agnes in DMC 4, which means yes, this guy's fucked someone before. She doesn't really have any attachment to him since he abandoned her and her mom to pursue his studies, and we all know how that went. He goes out to the Clive tree to gain more power and waits for Dante to fight him again at full strength. Nero wants to help out, but Dante won't let him, and it's here we can get the huge bombshell.
If that's your brother, what happened to V?
He returned to himself. Go home, Nero. This doesn't concern you.
Like hell. I lost my right arm because of him!
This is not your fight. I need to stop him, and that's all that matters.
I'm not gonna let you have all the fun, Dante!
You don't get it.
Let me guess. I'm dead weight? Well, you can
That's
show
not
me.
it, Nero.
What is it then?
He's your father!
What?
I had the feeling the first time I saw you, but I just wasn't sure. And then I saw how the Yamato reacted. And I was certain. He's your father.
Honestly, when you look at Devil May Cry 4, this was kind of obvious. Like, he was mentioned to be a descendant from Sparta, so he had to be related to Dante and Virgil in some way. And we know we get him in Dante's good because A, Dante seems like the loner bachelor type, and B, we only seen him interact with 2 other women. One of them looks like his dead mom, and the other one has daddy issues. Well, technically 3 if you want to count Devon from DMC 3, but And also, Nero awakened part of his powers with the Yamato, which is Virgil's weapon. And let's do what he says when he awakens them too.
Unfortunately, our souls are at odds, brother. I need more power.
I mean, come on, I don't think you would make that type of reference if you're not trying to, like, establish some kind of connection here. Plus, I kind of want to know who the mom is, because, like, I don't know, the thought of Virgil, like, laying in bed with someone else is just kind of wild to me. Like, and also some little stuff to, like, how Morrison just pops out of nowhere. I didn't bring him up in the story summary, but Morrison was the guy who's been setting up Dante and the others with jobs since he's first started the business. But he wasn't properly introduced in the game because the only way you would know about him is if you already watched the anime. We're just expecting to know who he is. He's also not bald and suffers from revitiligo. It's the opposite of what McAvoy Jackson has. This is also the funniest game in the series too.
Have you lost your mind? There's a demon to destroy! Kill yourself later! I'll help!
Everyone has good dialogue in this game. Nero and his new friend Nigo got some of the funniest lines in the game too. It's like they bounce off each other really well, and the friendship between them is really believable.
All I'm saying is, tough guy, it's okay to cry if you want.
I'm not crying.
Devils cry.
I'm not gonna
Kittens
cry. Will you
Meow.
shut up? Will you
Puppies
stop
cry.
it? Look at you. You're nobody's
Why don't you
crying,
cry on my
all
shoulder?
right? Stop
Come
saying
on, cry
cry.
on my shoulder. I know you wanna.
You say cry again. Devil may cry. Fuck.
My only problem with the story is that Lady, Trish, and Kyrie don't do a lot in this story. Like, Kyrie doesn't even physically show up in the whole game. Like, you would think that them being used as a demonic battery for the Clive-Off would have been more important, but no, not really. They're not really given a lot to do. And I thought that they'd turn off the fan service for them in DMC4, because but here they just show up completely naked in this game.
What?
Can't believe you do this to Kyrie. I'm gonna have to tell her, man. I'm joking. Hey, loosen up your jockstrap.
Haha.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Chicka bow wow, chicka bow wow.
Kitty would kill me right now.
Let's start with Nero. He controls pretty much like he did in Devil May Cry 4, but since he got his arm ripped out, he doesn't really have the Devil Bringer anymore, but that's not the worst thing ever. Since now he gets these new interchangeable arms called the Devil Breakers that Nico made for him. They work kind of like his Devil Bringer arm in the way that he can bring enemies closer to him, or he can go closer to them if they're too big. But they can also do different things with different arms, like launch demons away from you, shoot out his arm like a remote control missile. You even get Mega Man's arm cannon that shoots out pellets, even jumps like him and does the slide too. He can also...
Here, for those hard to reach itches. Kyrie will love it. Catch my meaning?
Also, that's what it is. Let's start with Nero. He controls pretty much like he did in Devil May Cry 4, but since he got his arm ripped out, he doesn't really have the Devil Bringer anymore, but that's not the worst thing ever. Since now he gets these new interchangeable arms called the Devil Breakers that Nico made for him. They work kind of like his Devil Bringer arm in the way that he can bring enemies closer to him, or he can go closer to them if they're too big. But they can also do different things with different arms, like launch demons away from you, shoot out his arm like a remote control missile. You even get Mega Man's arm cannon that shoots out pellets, even jumps like him and does the slide too. He can also...
Here, for those hard to reach itches. Kyrie will love it. Catch my meaning?
Also, that's what it is. The weakest one he has is Mr. Foss. You have to spend orbs to shoot while using it, and if you use it correctly, you get more orbs as a trade-off. Cool idea, but I don't really use that much after the mission you acquire it in. But at least it leads to one of my favorite scenes in the game though. Cavalier Angelo is a huge highlight for me too. Like for a lot of Dante's bosses, I will almost always have Royal Guard equipped, and here along with the Virgil fights are my favorite bosses to use it in. And there's no better feeling than getting back-to-back perfect Royal Guard blocks, and then countering them doing so much damage. Until I fuck up the block timing, and the boss takes like a chunk of my health, and I realize, okay, I need to stop showing off for no reason. I love Nero's theme Double Trigger. It plays in the opening cutscene and in the reveal trailer of this game, which is probably why it was so hype-inducing. The instrumental and the vocals are so catchy. I actually had this song on my Spotify rotation for a little bit. Also, what's up with Nero having suspect lyrics in his song? Like first it was, the time has come and so have I. Now I'm hearing pull my double trigger, like, save it for Kyrie, Nero. I don't know what's next for the series. I can't imagine Capcom not making another game for the series, since this is one of the best selling Capcom games of all time with over 10 million copies. And it's not like the series isn't getting new content like that new Netflix show or the mobile game that nobody likes, but if this were to be the last game in the series, then honestly, what a way to go out. Yeah, I guess you'll see. So yeah, I guess you'll be.